Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Pod community. I'm Natasha, your host. If you're new here, we upload English learning episodes every single day to help you improve your English skills. In this episode, we're going to talk about the importance of education. While you listen, you'll hear real-life stories and practical examples. This will help you not only understand spoken English better, but also develop your writing skills by learning how to express ideas clearly and naturally. Before we begin, I have a few questions for you to think about. Have you ever thought about how your life would be different without education? Do you know someone who changed their life through learning? What does education mean to you? If you're enjoying this content, don't forget to press the like button. Let's get started. Education is one of the most powerful tools we have in life. It's more than reading books or passing exams. It's about learning how to think, how to solve problems, and how to understand the world around us. I still remember the story of Daniel, a young man from a small village who didn't go to school until he was 11. His parents couldn't afford school supplies, and there wasn't a school nearby. But Daniel was curious. He used to borrow books from neighbors and read under the streetlight because there was no electricity at home. One day, a volunteer teacher named Mr. Harris came to the village and started giving free lessons. Daniel attended every class. He asked questions, took notes, and practiced writing at night. After 3 years, he passed an exam and earned a scholarship to study in the city. Today, Daniel works as a teacher. He returned to his village to help others just like him. Stories like Daniel's remind us why education is so important. It opens doors. It gives us confidence. It teaches us discipline and patience. When we learn something new, we feel stronger and more prepared for life. I remember a moment in my own life when education changed everything. I was working at a small office job, and I couldn't communicate well with international clients, so I started learning English at night. At first, I was nervous and made many mistakes, but I kept practicing. 1 year later, I got a promotion because I was able to write emails and speak clearly in meetings. Let's take another example. Fatima is a mother of 3 from Kenya. She never finished high school. But after her children started school, she decided to learn again. Every afternoon, she attended adult education classes. She said, "I want to help my children with homework and also build my own business." Today, she runs a small shop and teaches other women how to manage money. Education is not only for young people. It's for everyone. It's never too late to start learning. Whether it's reading, writing, learning a new language, or gaining skills for a job, every small step counts. Think about your own goals. Do you want to write better emails? Understand English movies without subtitles? Speak confidently in public? All of these are connected to education. Even listening to this podcast is part of your learning journey. There's a man I admire greatly. His name is Mr. Ahmed. He's 60 years old and works as a carpenter. Last year, he started taking online English classes so he could talk to customers more easily. His reason? "Learning keeps me young," he said. And he was right. His confidence grew, and so did his income. Now imagine if none of these people had access to education. Their talents would be hidden. Their dreams would be harder to reach. Education doesn't promise success, but it gives you the tools to try. Let's go back in time. In ancient civilizations, only the rich or royal had access to learning. But today, with books, libraries, online courses, and podcasts, knowledge is everywhere. You just need to be curious and willing to learn. One of my favorite things to see is a child teaching their parent how to use a smartphone. That's education too. Teaching is part of learning. When you explain something to someone else, you understand it better yourself. I once met a couple, Sarah and Yusuf. They had 2 children and worked long hours every day. But they had a rule: 30 minutes of learning each night. Sometimes it was reading together. Other times, it was practicing English phrases. Over time, their children developed strong habits, and now all four of them speak English with confidence. Education also helps us make better decisions. When we understand health, money, relationships, or history, we can choose wisely. Without education, it's easy to believe anything we hear. But when we learn, we ask questions. We seek the truth. In many parts of the world, people walk for hours just to attend a class. Some sit on the floor with no desks, no air conditioning, and still learn with joy. That shows how powerful the desire to learn can be. And don't forget, the role of teachers. A good teacher can inspire you for a lifetime. I had one in school, Mrs. Peterson. She told me, "Natasha, you don't have to be perfect. Just be better than yesterday." That sentence stayed with me for years. So what can you do today to invest in your education? Maybe start a small notebook and write 5 new English words each day. Or listen to one English story and try writing a short summary. These simple habits lead to big improvements. I know a young woman named Layla who wanted to be a nurse. She couldn't afford nursing school at first, so she worked at a clinic and learned from the doctors and nurses around her. Every evening, she studied on her own. After 2 years, she passed the entrance test and entered college. Education also helps us understand people better. When we learn about different places, cultures, and ways of thinking, we become kinder and more open. I remember a story about Thomas, a taxi driver in London. He used to feel shy talking to tourists. He didn't know much about other countries, and sometimes he didn't understand their English accents. One day, he decided to join a free language class at the community center. Every Saturday, he practiced speaking with people from different backgrounds. After a few months, he became more confident. Now he talks to passengers from all over the world. He says learning made him feel more connected and less afraid of making mistakes. There's also Emma, a young mother in Canada. She had never finished high school, and after her children were born, she thought her chance to study was gone. But then she found an online program for adult learners. Every night after putting her children to bed, she would sit at the kitchen table and do her assignments. After 2 years, she received her high school diploma. Now she's taking a course to become a teacher's assistant. Education can also improve family life. When parents learn new things, they pass that knowledge to their children. It creates a strong home where everyone keeps growing. I know a man named John who struggled with reading. He never told anyone, not even his wife. One day, his daughter brought home a book and asked him to read it. He couldn't, and it broke his heart. That night, he started studying with a tutor. After 6 months, he read a story to his daughter for the first time. She clapped, and he cried. Learning changes lives, not just careers. It builds confidence, brings hope, and creates new opportunities. Even if it's slow or difficult, every small effort makes a difference. Think about writing. When you can write well, you can express your thoughts clearly. You can send better emails, write job applications, or even share your story. And listening, like you're doing now, helps you hear how words are used in real conversations. It trains your ears and improves your speaking too. One of the best examples is David, a delivery worker who used to be very quiet. He didn't say much because he was worried about his English, but every day he listened to English podcasts while riding his bike. He wrote down new words, repeated them, and practiced speaking out loud. Now he speaks to customers with ease, and his confidence has grown. Let me share another real story. Susan, a grandmother from the United States, joined a local reading group. She wanted to improve her writing so she could write letters to her grandchildren. She practiced every week, and soon she began writing short stories from her childhood. Her family loved them, and now she's writing a small book. Learning doesn't stop after school. It continues through life. Whether you're 18 or 80, there's always something new to learn. Sometimes people think they're too old, too busy, or not smart enough. But that's not true. Learning is not about being perfect. It's about growing. Even small progress is still progress. I once met a couple, James and Anna. They worked full-time and had 2 children. Life was busy, but they made a plan. 15 minutes a day of learning. Sometimes they read an article. Sometimes they practiced English phrases together. They said it helped their minds stay active and gave them something positive to talk about at dinner. Education is one of the most important parts of life. It gives us knowledge and helps us grow as people. When I think about education, I remember my friend Michael. Michael did not have many opportunities when he was young. He lived in a small town where there was only one school. Many children did not finish school because their families needed them to work. But Michael wanted to learn. He worked hard and studied whenever he had time. After school, he helped his parents on their farm, but at night he read books by candlelight. Michael's dream was to become an engineer. He believed that education could change his life. Even though his village was far from the city and resources were limited, he never gave up. When he was 18, he moved to the city to attend university. At first, it was very difficult. He missed his family and struggled with new subjects, but he kept studying every day. His teachers noticed his effort and encouraged him. Michael graduated with good grades and found a job designing bridges and roads. Today, he helps build safe places for people to live and travel. His story shows how education can open doors and create opportunities. Education does not only help people get better jobs, it also helps us understand the world better. Take Lucy, for example. She is a nurse who works in a hospital. When she started her job, she realized that learning about health was very important. She had to understand many medical terms and how to care for patients. Lucy spent time studying and taking extra courses. This knowledge helped her save lives and give comfort to people who were sick. Education gave her confidence to do her work well. Another important thing about education is that it teaches us to think carefully. For instance, my neighbor John always asks questions. He does not believe everything he hears. John reads books and listens to different opinions. This helps him make good decisions for his family. When we learn, we develop our minds and become better problem solvers. This skill is useful in many parts of life, not just school or work. Want to tell you about Sarah and Mark. They are married and have 2 children. Both of them went back to school after many years. Sarah wanted to finish her college degree, and Mark wanted to learn new computer skills. They studied in the evenings after their children went to bed. It was hard to balance work, family, and school. But they believed education was important for their future. Now Sarah works as a manager, and Mark helps people with technology at his job. They also help their children with homework and encourage them to study. Education also helps us communicate better. When we learn new words and phrases, we can express ourselves clearly. For example, David is a delivery driver who wanted to speak better English. He listened to English podcasts every day and practiced speaking with his friends. After a few months, he felt more confident talking with customers. Now he enjoys his work more because he can explain things well. One of the best parts of education is that it never stops. We can learn new things every day. Take Anna, who is 65 years old. She joined a local class to learn how to use a computer. At first, she was nervous because she had never used one before, but with practice, she learned to send emails, write documents, and even search for information online. Learning new skills made Anna feel happy and proud. It showed her that age is not a barrier to education. Education can also bring families closer. When parents learn, they can support their children better. I remember a story about Tom and his wife, Emily. Tom had trouble reading, so he decided to take adult classes. Emily supported him and learned together with him. Their children saw their parents' effort and also worked hard in school. Education became a family activity that brought them together. Sometimes education means learning from life experiences. 2. My friend James traveled to many countries. He learned new languages, customs, and ways of living. These experiences taught him to be open-minded and respectful. Education is not only about books, but also about understanding people and cultures. When we talk about education, we also think about teachers. Good teachers inspire us and help us believe in ourselves. I had a teacher named Mrs. Collins who always said, "Keep trying, even if it is hard." Her words helped me when I faced difficulties. Teachers do more than teach facts. They guide us, encourage us, and help us grow as people. If you want to improve your English or any other skill, start small. Write a few sentences every day. Read simple stories or articles. Listen to podcasts like this one. Practice speaking with friends or family. All these little steps will help you become better. I know a woman named Rachel who wanted to improve her writing. She started by keeping a diary. Every night, she wrote about her day and her feelings. After some months, her writing improved a lot. She could write clear emails at work and help her children with school reports. Education helps us in many ways. It builds confidence, opens new opportunities, and helps us understand the world and people better. It does not matter where you come from or how old you are. Anyone can learn and grow. The key is to be curious and keep trying. Education is more than just learning facts from books. It is about building skills that help us live better lives. When I think about education, I remember my old friend Peter. Peter grew up in a small town with limited schools. Many children there stopped going to school after a few years because their families needed help at home or on the farm. But Peter wanted to learn more. Every day after helping his family, he read whatever books he could find. Sometimes he would walk many kilometers just to borrow a book from the library. Peter's dream was to become a doctor. He knew it would be hard because his family was poor and there were few schools nearby. But he never gave up. When he turned 18, he moved to the city to study medicine. It was not easy at all. He had to learn new words, understand difficult subjects, and live away from home. But he studied every day, even when he was tired. His teachers saw how hard he worked and supported him. After many years, Peter became a doctor and started helping people in his town. His life changed because of education. He now helps many families who cannot afford a doctor. Education also helps us understand the world. It teaches us about history, science, and how things work. I remember Sarah, a woman who worked as a nurse. When she started, she did not know much about medicine, but she took courses to learn more about caring for patients. She read books and practiced skills to help people feel better. Her knowledge saved lives and made her confident in her job. Education is important because it helps us think clearly and solve problems. For example, my neighbor James always reads and asks questions. He does not believe everything he hears. He listens to different opinions and learns new things. This helps him make good decisions for his. I also want to tell you about Anna and David. They are married and have 2 children. Both of them went back to school after many years. Anna wanted to finish her college degree, and David wanted to learn computer skills. They studied in the evenings after working all day. It was difficult to balance work, family, and school. But they knew education was important. Now Anna is a manager, and David works with technology. They also help their children with homework and encourage them to study. Education helps us communicate better, too. When we learn new words and grammar, we can express our ideas clearly. David is a delivery driver who wanted to improve his English. He listened to English podcasts every day and practiced speaking with friends. After a few months, he felt more confident talking with customers. He enjoys his work more because he can explain things well. One great thing about education is that it never stops. We can learn new things at any age. Anna is 65 years old. She joined a class to learn how to use a computer. At first, she was nervous because she had never used one before. But with practice, she learned how to send emails and write documents. Learning new skills made Anna feel proud and happy. It showed her that age does not matter when it comes to learning. Education can also bring families closer. When parents learn, they can support their children better. I remember Tom and his wife, Emily. Tom had trouble reading. He decided to take adult classes, and Emily joined him. They studied together, and their children saw how hard their parents worked. This inspired the children to study harder. Education became something the whole family shared. Sometimes education comes from life experiences. My friend John traveled to many countries. He learned new languages and customs. These experiences taught him to be open-minded and respectful. Education is not only about books. It is also about understanding people and different cultures. Teachers play an important role in education. Good teachers encourage us and help us believe in ourselves. I had a teacher named Mrs. Collins. She always said, "Keep trying, even if it is hard." Her words helped me when I faced difficulties. Teachers do more than teach facts. They guide us and help us grow as people. If you want to improve your English or any other skill, start with small steps. Write a few sentences every day. Read simple stories or articles. Listen to podcasts like this one. Practice speaking with friends or family. These small steps will help you improve. Rachel wanted to improve her writing. She started by keeping a diary. Every night she wrote about her day and feelings. After some months, her writing got better. She could write clear emails and help her children with schoolwork. Education builds confidence, opens doors, and helps us understand the world and people better. It does not matter where you come from or how old you are. Anyone can learn and grow. The key is to be curious and keep trying. I want to share another story about Mark. Mark worked as a mechanic. He did not finish high school but wanted to learn more about cars. He joined a night class and studied hard. After a year, he passed the exam and got a certificate. This certificate helped him get a better job with more pay. Mark said education gave him a new life and hope for the future. Let me tell you about Emily. She is a mother of 3 children. She wanted to help her children with their schoolwork, but she did not finish school herself. Emily found an adult education program near her home. She attended classes 2 days a week. She learned math, reading, and writing. Emily said learning gave her confidence to support her children better. It also made her feel proud. Education helps us become better citizens. When we know more, we can take part in our communities. We can understand laws and vote wisely. We can help make our neighborhoods safer and happier. When people are educated, they can solve problems peacefully and work together. Sometimes people think education is only for young people, but I met a man named George who started learning to read when he was 50 years old. He had never gone to school as a child. George practiced reading every day. After a year, he could read newspapers and signs. He said education changed his life. It gave him freedom to understand the world. Education also helps with technology. The world is changing fast, and new skills are needed. My friend Lucy works in an office. She took a computer course to learn how to use programs for her job. Because of this, she was promoted to a better position. She said learning new skills made her feel ready for the future. There is also a story about James and Anna. They are a busy couple with 2 children. They found time to learn every day, even if only for 15 minutes. Sometimes they read an article or practiced English phrases. This small habit helped them improve quickly. It also gave them something positive to talk about at dinner. Education helps us with writing. When we can write well, we can send clear messages and apply for jobs easily. It also helps us tell our stories to others. When you listen carefully, like now, you can learn how people speak, and use words. This improves your speaking and writing skills. I want to tell you about Susan, a grandmother who wanted to write letters to her grandchildren. She joined a reading group and practiced writing every week. Soon, she wrote short stories about her childhood. Her family loved them. Now she is working on a small book. Learning is a lifelong journey. It is not about being perfect, but about growing little by little. Every step forward matters. Education is a powerful tool that can change lives in many ways. When we learn, we open new doors and create new chances for ourselves. Let me tell you more stories that show how important education really is. These stories will help you see different ways education affects people and how it can help you too. First, I want to talk about Daniel. Daniel grew up in a town where most people did not go to college. He was the first in his family to go to university. At first, Daniel was scared and unsure if he could do it. The classes were hard and he missed his family. But Daniel worked hard every day. He asked questions, took notes, and studied late into the night. His friends helped him, and his teachers were kind. After 4 years, Daniel graduated with a degree in engineering. Now Daniel works for a big company and designs machines that help people. He says education gave him confidence and new skills. Daniel's story shows that hard work and education can help you reach your dreams, even if the road is difficult. Now let's look at Maria's story. Maria is a mother who wanted to improve her life and her children's future. She did not finish high school because she had to work and take care of her family. But when her children started school, Maria decided to go back to education. She took classes in the evening and learned reading, writing, and math. At first, it was hard to balance school, work, and family, but Maria did not give up. Her husband supported her and helped with the children. After 2 years, Maria finished her courses and found a better job. She says education made her feel proud and stronger. Maria's story is a good example of how education helps adults improve their lives and the lives of their families. Education is not just about school or college. It is about learning every day from life around us. My friend Steve is a truck driver. He did not finish school, but he likes to learn. He reads the newspaper and listens to radio programs. Steve also talks to people from different places and learns new words. This helps him in his job because he meets many people. He says that learning new things every day keeps his mind active and helps him do his work better. Steve's story shows that education can happen anywhere and at any time. Another story is about Emma. Emma works in a supermarket. She always wanted to learn English better because many customers speak English. Emma started using free online lessons on her phone during breaks. She practiced speaking with friends and watched simple videos to learn new words. Over time, her English improved a lot. Now, Emma talks to customers with confidence and even helps new workers learn. Emma's story shows education also helps us think clearly and make good choices. For example, I know a man named Paul who runs a small business. Paul did not finish high school, but he wanted to manage his business well. He took some business classes and learned about money, marketing, and customers. Because of education, Paul made better plans and his business grew. He hired more people and helped his community. Paul says learning new skills helped him succeed and be a better leader. Sometimes education brings families closer. My friends. Lisa and John went back to school together. Lisa wanted to finish her college degree, and John wanted to learn computer skills. They studied in the evenings while their children did homework. This shared experience helped them support each other and talk more about their goals. Their children saw their parents studying and felt motivated to work hard too. Lisa and John's story shows that learning together can build stronger families. Education can help us understand the world better. When we learn about history, culture, and science, we see why things happen. My friend Michael loves history. He reads books about different countries and times. This knowledge helps him understand current events and talk with people from many places. Michael says education makes life more interesting and helps him be open to new ideas. I want to tell you about Sarah and James. They are a married couple who love to learn. Sarah studies nursing, and James is learning how to repair computers. They both take classes online and practice at home. Sometimes they teach each other what they learn. They say education is fun and helps them feel ready for the future. Sarah and James's story shows that learning new skills can be enjoyable and useful. Education also helps us with technology. The world is changing fast, and new tools require new knowledge. My neighbor Karen works in an office. She took a computer course to learn how to use email and programs for work. Because of this, she got a promotion and a better salary. Karen says learning technology made her feel confident and ready for challenges. I want to share the story of Tom. Tom works in construction. He wanted to read blueprints and plans better. He went to night classes to improve his reading skills. At first, it was hard to find time and energy after work, but Tom kept going and practiced every day. Now he can read and understand plans easily. This skill helped Tom get better jobs and respect from his coworkers. Tom's story shows that education can improve practical skills and job opportunities. Education helps us communicate well. When we know more words and grammar, we express ourselves clearly. My friend Laura wanted to write emails for work. She practiced writing every day and asked her friends to check her letters. After some time, Laura's writing became clear and professional. This helped her get new clients and keep good relationships. Laura's story shows that learning language skills is important for success. Many people think education is only for young people. But I know a man named George who started to learn to read at 50 years old. He never went to school as a child. George practiced reading with a tutor and books. After a year, he could read newspapers and signs. He said education changed his life and gave him freedom. George's story shows it is never too late to learn. Education also helps us make good decisions in life. My friend Rachel studied nutrition to help her family eat healthy. She learned how to cook better meals and choose good foods. This knowledge made her family healthier and happier. Rachel says education helps us live better lives. I want to talk about adults who want to learn for their children. Anna and David want their children to do well in school. They go to classes to improve their own skills. They help their children with homework and encourage them to read and study. Anna and David say education helps the whole family grow. Education is important for all of us. It helps us get good jobs, understand the world, and communicate well. It can improve our lives and the lives of people we care about. If you want to improve your English or any skill, start small and keep going every day. Little by little, you will see big changes. Education is a key that opens many doors in life. It helps people learn new things and improve themselves. When we learn, we also build our future. I want to share more stories to help you understand why education is so important. These stories are about real people and how education helped them in many ways. They also show how learning can change our lives step by step. Let me start with the story of James. James grew up in a small town where many people worked on farms. James wanted to have a different life, but he did not have a chance to go to school when he was a child. When James became an adult, he decided to learn to read and write. It was not easy for him at first because he was busy with work, but he took night classes and practiced every day. After a year, James was able to read letters and write simple sentences. He said that learning to read helped him feel more confident and made life easier. Now, James helps his children with their homework and reads stories to them every night. His story shows that education is important at any age and it is never too late to learn. Next, I want to talk about Anna. Anna is a woman who works in a big city. She wanted to find a better job to support her family. Anna did not finish high school, but she wanted to learn more. She took a computer course at a community center. At first, Anna was nervous because computers were new to her, but she practiced with her teacher and with friends. After a few months, Anna learned how to use a computer well. She found a new job in an office where she uses her computer skills every day. Anna says education gave her new chances and a better life. Her story shows how learning new skills can help us get better jobs. Now I want to tell you about Mark. Mark is a father who wanted his children to have a good education. He works hard, but he also studies with his children. Mark reads books and helps his children understand their schoolwork. He believes education is important for success. Mark also talks to teachers and learns how to support his children at home. Mark says education is not just for children, but for the whole family. His story shows how education helps families grow stronger. I also want to share the story of Emily. Emily is a young woman who loves learning about health and fitness. She wanted to know how to stay healthy and help others. Emily took a course in nutrition and exercise science. She learned about food, muscles, and how to live a healthy life. After her course, Emily started to teach classes at a local community center. Many people come to her classes to learn how to be healthy. Emily says education gave her the knowledge to help others. Her story shows how education can make a difference in the community. Education helps us in many ways. For example, my friend Robert works as a taxi driver. Robert wanted to learn English better to talk with his customers. He started to listen to English podcasts and practice speaking. Robert also used a dictionary to learn new words. After some time, he felt more comfortable talking in English. He says education helped him make new friends and do his job better. Robert's story shows that learning a language is very useful in daily life. I want to tell you about Sarah and John. Sarah is a nurse and John is an electrician. They both like to learn new things. Sarah takes courses about medicine to help her patients. John studies new technology to fix electrical problems. They share what they learn with each other and with their children. Sarah and John believe education never stops. They say learning every day makes life better and more interesting. Their story shows that education is for everyone, no matter what job you have. Education also teaches us to think carefully and make good decisions. My friend Paul owns a small store. He took classes about money and business. Paul learned how to manage his store better. He learned how to save money and buy the right products. Because of education, Paul's store became more successful. He hired new workers and helped the local community. Paul says education helped him be a better businessman and leader. His story shows how education helps in business and life. Another example is Lisa. Lisa wanted to improve her writing skills. She wanted to write better emails and reports for her job. Lisa practiced writing every day. She asked her friends to check her work and give advice. After some months, Lisa's writing became clear and professional. She got a promotion at work. Lisa says education helped her communicate better and reach her goals. Her story shows how important communication skills are in work and life. Let me tell you about George. George did not go to school as a child because of difficult family problems. When he became an adult, he wanted to learn to read and write. George took classes at a local library. He practiced with a teacher and used books. After some time, George could read newspapers and write letters. He said education gave him freedom and new opportunities. George's story shows that it is never too late to learn and grow. Education also helps us understand the world around us. My friend Michael loves to learn about history and culture. He reads books and listens to lectures. Michael says education helps him see why people and countries are different. It helps him be open-minded and respectful. Michael's story shows that education makes us wiser and more thoughtful. I want to talk about Karen. Karen works in an office. She did not know much about computers before. Karen took a computer course to learn how to use email and special programs. After learning, she got a promotion and a better salary. Karen says education helped her feel confident and ready for new challenges. Her story shows that learning technology is important in today's world. Tom is another good example. He works in construction. Tom wanted to read blueprints and plans better. He took night classes to improve his reading skills. Tom practiced every day after work. Now he can read and understand plans easily. Tom says education helped him get better jobs and respect from his coworkers. His story shows that education improves practical skills. Education also helps us live healthy lives. Rachel studied nutrition to help her family eat better. She learned about healthy food and cooking. Rachel says education helped her family be stronger and happier. Her story shows how education improves everyday life. Anna and David want their children to do well in school. They take classes to improve their own skills. They help their children with homework and encourage learning at home. Anna and David say education helps the whole family grow together. Their story shows education brings families closer. Education can change lives in many ways. It helps us get better jobs, understand the world, and communicate clearly. It gives us confidence and new chances. If you want to improve your English or any skill, start small, practice every day. Keep learning and never give up. Education is very important in our lives. It helps us learn many things and prepares us for the future. When people go to school or learn new skills, they can find better jobs and live better lives. I want to share many stories about people who used education to improve their lives. These stories will help you understand why education matters so much. First, let me tell you about John. John grew up in a small town where not many people had the chance to go to school. When John was young, he helped his parents on the farm and did not go to school. But when he became an adult, he decided to learn how to read and write. John took classes in the evening after work. It was hard for him because he was tired, but he did not give up. After 1 year, John could read books and write letters to his family. He said that learning to read helped him feel more confident and happy. Now, John helps his children with their schoolwork. He knows that education can change life for the better. Another story is about Mary. Mary wanted to have a better job to support her family. She finished high school, but she needed more skills to get a good job. Mary took a course in cooking at a community center. She learned how to prepare healthy meals and work in a kitchen. After the course, Mary found a job as a cook in a restaurant. She was proud because she could help her family with the money she earned. Mary says that education helped her find a good job and feel proud of herself. I also want to share the story of Peter. Peter is a father who works very hard. He wants his children to have a good education. Peter studies with his children every day. He reads books to them and helps them with their homework. Peter believes that education is very important for success. He also talks with his children's teachers to learn how to help better. Peter says that learning is not just for children, but for the whole family. His story shows that education helps families grow strong together. Then there is Emily. Emily loves to learn about health and how to stay fit. She took a course in nutrition. She learned about healthy food and exercises. After the course, Emily started teaching classes to help others stay healthy. Many people come to her classes and learn from her. Emily says that education gave her the knowledge to help many people. Her story shows how education can help the whole community. My friend Robert works as a taxi driver. He wanted to improve his English so he could talk better with his customers. Robert listened to English podcasts and practiced speaking every day. He used a dictionary to learn new words. After some time, Robert felt more confident speaking English. He says that education helped him make new friends and do his job better. Robert's story shows how learning a language can help in everyday life. I want to tell you about Sarah and John. Sarah is a nurse and John is an electrician. Both of them like to learn new things. Sarah takes courses about medicine to help her patients. John studies new technology to fix electrical problems. They share what they learn with each other and with their children. Sarah and John believe that education never stops. They say that learning every day makes life better and more interesting. Their story shows that education is for everyone, no matter what job you have. Education also helps us think clearly and make good decisions. My friend Paul owns a small store. He took classes about money and business. Paul learned how to manage his store better. He learned how to save money and buy the right products. Because of education, Paul's store became more successful. He hired new workers and helped the local community. Paul says education helped him be a better businessman and leader. His story shows how education helps in business and life. Let me tell you about Lisa. Lisa wanted to improve her writing skills. She wanted to write better emails and reports for her job. Lisa practiced writing every day. She asked her friends to check her work and give advice. After some months, Lisa's writing became clear and professional. She got a promotion at work. Lisa says education helped her communicate better and reach her goals. Her story shows how important communication skills are in work and life. George's story is also important. George did not go to school as a child because of family problems. When he became an adult, he wanted to learn to read and write. George took classes at a local library. He practiced with a teacher and used books. After some time, George could read newspapers and write letters. He said education gave him freedom and new opportunities. George's story shows that it is never too late to learn and grow. Education helps us understand the world around us. My friend Michael loves to learn about history and culture. He reads books and listens to lectures. Michael says education helps him see why people and countries are different. It helps him be open-minded and respectful. Michael's story shows that education makes us wiser and more thoughtful. Karen works in an office. She did not know much about computers before. Karen took a computer course to learn how to use email and special programs. After learning, she got a promotion and a better salary. Karen says education helped her feel confident and ready for new challenges. Her story shows that learning technology is important in today's world. Tom works in construction. Tom wanted to read blueprints and plans better. He took night classes to improve his reading skills. Tom practiced every day after work. Now he can read and understand plans easily. Tom says education helped him get better jobs and respect from his coworkers. His story shows that education improves practical skills. Rachel studied nutrition to help her family eat better. She learned about healthy food and cooking. Rachel says education helped her family be stronger and happier. Her story shows how education improves everyday life. Anna and David want their children to do well in school. They take classes to improve their own skills. They help their children with homework and encourage learning at home. Anna and David say education helps the whole family grow together. Their story shows education brings families closer. Education can change lives in many ways. It helps us get better jobs, understand the world, and communicate clearly. It gives us confidence and new chances. If you want to improve, education is a key part of life for many people around the world. It helps us grow as individuals and helps society grow as a whole. When we learn new things, we can do better in our jobs, help our families, and make better choices in life. I want to tell you many stories about people who have changed their lives with education. These stories will help you understand how important education is and how it can help you too. Let me tell you about David. David grew up in a town where there was not much money. Many children did not finish school because they had to work to help their families. David was lucky because his parents wanted him to go to school. But even after school, David did not stop learning. He studied books and used the library every day. He wanted to become an engineer. David worked very hard, and after many years, he finished his studies. Now David works in a big company. He builds roads and bridges. David says education gave him the chance to have a good job and a better life. His story shows how education helps us reach our goals. I also want to tell you about Anna. Anna is a mother with 2 children. She did not have the chance to finish school when she was young, but when her children started school, Anna wanted to learn too. She went to evening classes to learn how to read and write. Anna was nervous at first, but she kept trying. After 1 year, Anna could read stories to her children. She said this made her very happy. Anna says education gave her confidence and helped her feel proud. Her story shows that it is never too late to learn. Then there is Mark. Mark works in a factory. He wanted to learn English to speak better with his coworkers. Mark started listening to English podcasts and reading simple books. Every day, he practiced a little. After 6 months, Mark could speak and understand much better. He says learning English helped him feel more comfortable at work and made new friends. Mark's story shows that small steps every day can lead to big improvements. Let me share the story of Susan. Susan is a nurse. She wanted to learn more about health to help her patients better. Susan took special courses after work. She learned new medicines and ways to care for people. Susan said education helped her do her job well and helped many people. She says education is important for all jobs, not just school. Susan's story shows that learning never stops. My friend James wanted to start his own business. James took classes about how to manage money and talk to customers. He learned how to plan and save money. After learning, James opened a small shop. It was hard at first, but he worked hard every day. Now James has many customers and helps other small businesses. James says education helped him follow his dreams. His story shows that education is important for business and life. I want to tell you about Laura. Laura loves to write. She wanted to improve her writing to work as a journalist. Laura read many books and practiced writing every day. She wrote stories and asked her teachers for help. After some time, Laura's writing became clear and interesting. She got a job at a newspaper. Laura says education helped her express herself and find her passion. Her story shows how education can open new doors. There is also Robert. Robert did not finish school because he had to work to support his family. When he was older, Robert wanted to learn to read and write. He took classes at a community center. Robert worked hard and learned slowly but surely. Now Robert reads books and helps his children with their homework. Robert says education changed his life and gave him hope. His story shows that learning is possible at any age. Education also helps us understand many things about the world. My friend Emma loves to learn about history and science. She reads books and watches educational videos. Emma says education helps her understand why the world works the way it does. It helps her respect other people and their cultures. Emma's story shows that education makes us smarter and more caring. John works in an office. He did not know how to use computers very well. John took computer classes to learn how to use email and other programs. After learning, John got a better job and was happier at work. John says education helped him feel ready for new challenges. His story shows how learning new skills is important in today's world. Tom works in construction. He wanted to read blueprints and plans better. He took night classes to improve his reading skills. Tom practiced every day after work. Now he can read and understand plans easily. Tom says education helped him get better jobs and respect from his coworkers. His story shows that education improves practical skills. Rachel studied nutrition to help her family eat better. She learned about healthy food and cooking. Rachel says education helped her family be stronger and happier. Her story shows how education improves everyday life. Anna and David want their children to do well in school. They take classes to improve their own skills. They help their children with homework and encourage learning at home. Anna and David say education helps the whole family grow together. Their story shows education brings families closer. Education can change lives in many ways. It helps us get better jobs, understand the world, and communicate clearly. It gives us confidence and new chances. If you want to improve your English or any skill, start small. Practice every day. Keep learning and never give up. Education is very important in many parts of life. It helps people get better jobs, meet new people, and understand the world around them. Sometimes education can change a whole community or even a country. When people learn new skills, they can help others and make their homes better places to live. I want to tell you more stories about people who saw big changes in their lives because of education. These stories are easy to understand and show many ways education helps. Let's start with Sarah. Sarah grew up in a small village where there was only one school. Many children stopped going to school after a few years because they needed to work. Sarah's parents believed that education was very important. They encouraged Sarah to keep studying. Sarah worked hard and went to a bigger school in the city. It was difficult at first because the city was very different from her village. But Sarah did not give up. She studied science and math because she wanted to become a teacher. After many years, Sarah became a teacher in her village. Now she helps children learn and dreams of making her village better. Sarah's story shows how education can create new chances for people and communities. I want to tell you about Michael next. Michael's family was poor, and he had to help his father in the shop. At first, Michael did not think school was very important. But his teacher told him education can open many doors. Michael started paying more attention in class. He liked reading stories and learning about history. When Michael finished school, he got a job in a bank. He works with money and helps people save. Michael says education gave him a chance to live a better life and help his family. His story shows how education can help people improve their future. There is also Linda. Linda's parents did not finish school, but they wanted Linda to learn as much as possible. Linda loved to read books and write stories. She wanted to be a writer one day. Linda studied hard and went to university. She learned how to write well and understand different ideas. Now Linda writes for a newspaper and helps people know about important news. She says education gave her the tools to follow her dreams. Linda's story shows how education can help people find their passion. Another story is about James. James works in a restaurant. When he started, he did not speak English well. James wanted to learn English to talk to his customers better. He took classes at night and listened to English podcasts. Every day, James practiced new words and phrases. After some time, James could speak much better. He got a promotion and became a manager. James says education helped him be confident and do better at work. His story shows how learning a new language can open new doors. I want to tell you about Emily. Emily is a nurse. She always wanted to learn more about medicine and how to help patients. After work, Emily took special classes about healthcare. She learned new ways to treat people and keep them safe. Emily says education helps her be a better nurse and help more people. Her story shows that learning does not stop after school. It continues in life and work. Then there is Robert. Robert did not finish school when he was young. He had to work to support his family. When he was older, Robert decided to learn to read and write. He went to classes at a community center. It was hard, but Robert never gave up. Now he reads books and helps his children with homework. Robert says education gave him hope and made him proud. His story shows that it is never too late to learn something new. I want to share the story of Anna and David. They are married and have 2 children. Both of them finished school and want their children to learn well. Anna and David help their children with homework and encourage them to study hard. They also take classes themselves to improve their skills. Anna learned how to use a computer, and David is studying English. They say education helps the whole family grow and succeed. Their story shows that education is important for everyone. in the family. Education also helps people understand the world better. My friend Emma loves to learn about history and science. She says education helps her understand why things happen and how people live in different places. It helps her respect others and be kind. Emma's story shows how education. John works in an office. He did not know how to use computers well. He took classes to learn about computers and new programs. After learning, John got a better job. He says education helped him feel ready for new challenges. His story shows that education helps people keep up with changes in the world. Tom works in construction. He wanted to understand blueprints better. He took night classes to improve his reading skills. Now he can read and understand plans easily. Tom says education helped him get better jobs and respect from coworkers. His story shows that education improves important skills for work. Rachel studied nutrition. She learned about healthy food and how to cook better. Rachel says education helped her family stay healthy. Her story shows how education improves daily life. Michael, Sarah, Linda, James, Emily, Robert, Anna, David, Emma, John, Tom, and Rachel all show how education changes lives. It gives people new skills, confidence, and hope. Education helps people do better in work and life. It is a tool for success. When you listen to stories like these, you can see how education is important for many people in different situations. Maybe some stories sound like your life or your dreams. Listening carefully and thinking about these stories can help you learn English better. It also helps you write your own stories or ideas. Practice listening and try to write about what you hear. This is a good way to improve both your listening and writing skills. If you want to improve your English, try listening to stories every day. Think about the meaning and new words. Then, try to write a few sentences about what you learned. You can write about a person you know or a story you heard. Practice makes perfect. Education is not only about going to school or university. It is also about learning from life. Take the example of Helen. Helen did not finish college because she had to take care of her family. But she never stopped learning. She read books, asked questions, and learned new skills through her work. Helen learned how to manage money and how to help her children with their schoolwork. She also learned how to cook healthy meals and keep her home clean. Helen's learning came from her everyday life. This shows that education can happen anywhere, not only in classrooms. Another example is Peter. Peter works as a bus driver. He did not have many opportunities to study when he was young, but Peter wanted to improve his English. He listened to the radio and read simple books in English. Peter practiced every day. His English got better slowly. Now he can talk to tourists and help them find places. Peter says that learning helped him feel more confident. Peter's story shows that education can happen step by step. It does not have to be fast. The important thing is to keep trying. Let me tell you about Lisa and Mark. Lisa and Mark are married. Lisa finished high school and Mark finished university. They both believe education is very important for their children. Every evening, Lisa helps the children with their homework. Mark reads stories to the children before bed. They want their children to have better chances in life. Lisa and Mark also take adult education classes. Lisa is learning computer skills. Mark is studying business. They say learning is for life, not just for young people. Their story shows how families can grow and learn together. Tom is a farmer. He works in the fields every day. Tom did not go to school for many years, but he wanted to learn new farming methods. He went to workshops and talked to other farmers. Tom learned how to plant different crops and how to take care of animals better. Because of this, Tom's farm became more productive. He earns more money now. Tom's story shows that education can help people in many jobs, not only in offices or schools. Samantha is a nurse's assistant. She works in a hospital. Samantha wanted to become a full nurse. She studied hard and took many exams. It was difficult. to study and work at the same time. But Samantha was determined. After some years, she became a nurse. She helps many patients every day. Samantha says education helped her help others better. Samantha's story shows that education takes effort, but the rewards are great. Let me share a story about Robert's wife, Emily. Emily is a teacher. She teaches young children in a small school. Emily believes education can change lives. She works hard to make learning fun and easy for her students. Emily also studies new teaching methods. She wants to be a better teacher every year. Emily's story shows that teachers also keep learning. Education is a continuous process. James has a small business. He sells vegetables in the market. James did not finish school, but he learned how to manage his business. He learned about prices, customers, and money. James took a short course on business skills at the community center. Because of this, his business grew. James's story shows that education can help people start and grow their own businesses. I want to talk about Anna's husband, David. David works in a factory. He wanted to improve his English to talk with his coworkers better. David took classes twice a week. He practiced speaking and writing. After some time, David's English improved a lot. Now he feels more comfortable at work. David's story shows that education helps with communication and teamwork. Education also helps people understand health and safety. Sarah's friend, Michael, learned about health in school. He taught his family about washing hands and eating healthy food. Michael's family stayed healthy because of what he learned. Michael's story shows that education helps people take care of themselves and their families. Let me tell you about Karen. Karen works in a library. She loves books and learning new things. Karen studied library science at university. She enjoys helping people find information. Karen says education helps her enjoy her work and serve others. Karen's story shows that education helps people do work they love. There are many ways to learn. Some people go to school, some learn at work, and others learn from family and friends. Education helps us understand the world better and solve problems. It also helps us meet new people and respect different ideas. When you listen to stories like these, try to think about the new words and ideas. It is okay if you do not understand everything at first. Keep listening and practicing. Try to write down what you hear. Write about your own experiences or people you know. This will help your English get better. Remember, education is a key to a better future. It helps people reach their goals and improve their lives. Keep learning every day. Use stories, books, and conversations to help you grow. Education changes. Lives in many different ways. It is not just about reading books or passing exams. It helps people think clearly and solve problems. For example, Sarah works in a small shop. She did not finish school, but she learned many things by talking to customers and watching how the shop works. Sarah learned how to count money and how to help customers with their questions. Because of her learning, Sarah became the manager of the shop. Her story shows that education happens in everyday life, not only in classrooms. John is another example. He studied engineering at university. After finishing his studies, he started working in a big company. John uses what he learned every day to build machines and fix problems. Sometimes John has to explain his work to people who do not understand engineering. Because of his education, John can explain things simply and clearly. His education helps him do his job well and work with others easily. Look at Emma and her husband, David. Emma is a nurse and David is a teacher. Both of them believe education is important for their children. Every night they read books with their children. They ask questions and talk about the stories. Emma and David want their children to grow up loving learning. They also learn new things themselves. Emma studies new health information. Tom works as a mechanic. He fixes cars and trucks. Tom did not have many chances to study when he was young, but he learned by working with others and reading manuals. Tom takes short courses to learn about new car technology. His learning helps him fix cars faster and better. Tom's story shows that education helps people keep up with changes in the world. Lisa is a student who wants to be an architect. She studies hard every day. Lisa draws buildings and learns about materials and design. She talks with her teachers and classmates to understand better. Lisa knows education is difficult, but she believes it will help her get a good job in the future. Her story shows that education requires hard work and patience. Mark is a farmer who wants to improve his farm. He listens to the radio to hear about new farming methods. Mark also goes to meetings with other farmers to share ideas. Mark's farm grows better because he learns new things and tries them on his land. His story shows that education helps people improve their work and lives. Susan is a librarian. She loves books and learning new things. Susan studied library science and enjoys helping people find information. She teaches others how to use computers and the internet. Susan believes education helps people live better lives by giving them knowledge and skills. Robert is a businessman. He started his business with little money but wanted to learn how to manage it well. Robert took a course on business management. He learned about marketing, customer service, and accounting. Because of his education, Robert's business grew, and he now employs several people. His story shows that education helps people succeed in business. Emily is a teacher in a small school. She teaches children how to read and write. Emily also learns new teaching methods to help her students learn better. She believes every child can succeed with the right education. Emily's story shows how important good teachers are in education. James works in a factory. He wanted to learn English to communicate better with his coworkers. James took classes and practiced speaking and writing every day. His English improved slowly but steadily. Now James feels more confident at work. His story shows that learning new skills helps people feel more comfortable and do better in their jobs. Anna's husband, David, is also learning English. He watches simple videos and listens to English radio programs. David practices writing new words and sentences. He knows learning a new language takes time and effort, but he is patient and keeps trying. Michael learned about health and safety at school. He teaches his family about washing hands and eating healthy food. Michael's family stays healthy because of what he learned. His story shows that education helps people take care of themselves and others. Karen loves her job in the library. She enjoys helping people find books and learn new things. Karen's education helped her get this job. She believes learning never stops, no matter how old you are. Education is everywhere. It happens at school, at work, and at home. It helps us solve problems, understand the world, and communicate with others. It also gives us confidence and new opportunities. When you listen to stories like these, try to think about the new words and ideas. You can write about your own experiences or people you know. Writing helps your brain remember new words and phrases. Practice writing a little every day. It will make your English stronger. Keep listening, keep reading, and keep learning. Education is the key to a better life. It opens doors and gives you choices. It helps you reach your goals. Education is one of the most important parts of life. It helps people grow in many ways. For example, think about Paul. Paul finished high school but did not go to university. He started working in a factory. First, Paul did simple jobs, but he wanted to learn more to get a better position. Paul took some evening classes to learn how to use machines. He also learned about safety at work. Because Paul kept learning, he was promoted to a supervisor. Now Paul teaches new workers how to do their jobs safely. His story shows that education helps people move forward in their careers. Another person I want to tell you about is Mary. Mary is a mother of 3 children. She did not finish school when she was young because she had to help her family. But Mary always wanted to learn. She started attending adult education classes. Mary learned how to read and write better. She also learned how to use a computer. This helped Mary find a job as a receptionist at a local office. Mary says education changed her life. She can now support her family and help her children with their homework. Mary's story shows that it is never too late to learn. James and his wife Laura are very interested in education. James works as a bus driver. Laura is a nurse. Both of them believe that education is important for their children's future. Every day, they encourage their children to read books and do their homework. James and Laura also read books about parenting and education. They want to be good role models. They believe learning is a lifelong process. Their children see this and enjoy learning. This family story shows how education can bring people together. Think about Mark. Mark is a farmer. He grows vegetables and fruits on his land. Mark wants to learn better farming techniques. He attends workshops at the local community center. Mark also talks to other farmers and shares ideas. Because Mark learned new methods, his farm produces more food. He sells more vegetables in the market and earns more money. Mark's story shows that education can help people improve their work and their lives. Lisa is a student who dreams of becoming a teacher. She studies hard every day. Lisa reads many books and writes essays to practice her English. She talks to her teachers when she has questions. Lisa knows education is not easy. It requires time and effort. But she believes that education will help her get a good job and help others learn. Lisa's story shows that hard work in education pays off. Tom works as a mechanic. He fixes cars and trucks. Tom learned most of his skills on the job. He also reads manuals and watches videos to learn new techniques. Tom sometimes attends short courses to stay updated with new technology. Tom's education helps him do his job well and find solutions quickly. His story shows that learning can happen outside of school too. Susan works in a library. She loves books and learning new things every day. Susan studied library science at university. She enjoys helping people find information. Susan also teaches computer skills to adults. She believes education helps people improve their lives. Susan's story shows that education can help people do the work they love. Robert started a small business selling vegetables. He did not finish school, but he wanted to learn how to manage his business well. Robert took courses on marketing and money management. He learned how to keep records and attract customers. Because of his learning, Robert's business grew. Now he employs several people in his community. Robert's story shows that education can help people succeed in business. Emily is a teacher in a small school. She loves working with children. Emily studies new teaching methods to help her students learn better. She believes every child can succeed if they get the right education. Emily's story shows how teachers play an important role in education. James works in a factory. He wanted to improve his English to talk with coworkers better. James took classes and practiced speaking every day. His English improved slowly but surely. Now James feels more confident at work. His story shows that learning a new skill can help people feel more comfortable and do better in their jobs. David is Anna's husband. David works in a factory too. He watches simple English videos and listens to radio programs. David practices writing new words and sentences. He knows learning takes time but keeps trying every day. David's story shows that patience and practice help people improve. Michael learned about health and safety at school. He teaches his family how to wash hands and eat healthy food. Michael's family stays healthy because of what he learned. His story shows that education helps people take care of themselves and others. Karen works in a library. She loves helping people find books and learn new things. Karen's education helped her get her job. She believes learning never stops, no matter how old you are. Karen's story shows that education is for everyone. Education happens everywhere, not just in schools. It happens at work, at home, and in the community. Education helps us solve problems and understand the world. It helps us talk to others and feel confident. Education gives us new opportunities and helps us reach our goals. When you listen to stories like these, try to think about new words and ideas. Write down what you... Education is a very important part of life. It helps people understand many things about the world. It also helps people grow their minds and their skills. When I was a child, my father told me a story about a man named George. George lived in a small town. He finished school but could not go to university because his family did not have enough money. Even so, George did not stop learning. He read books from the library and talked to people who knew many things. George wanted to have a good job to take care of his family. He worked hard and learned every day. Later, George started a small business. His knowledge helped him make good decisions. George's story shows how education helps people find ways to improve their lives, even if they face difficulties. Another example is Susan. Susan grew up in a village where schools were far away. She had to walk a long way every day to go to school. Susan loved learning very much. She studied math, science, and reading with great interest. After finishing school, Susan became a teacher in her village. She wanted to help children learn because she knew education could change their lives. Susan's students began to do better in their studies. They started to believe they could have good jobs and a bright future. Susan's story teaches us that education is not just about schools. It is about wanting to learn and helping others learn too. Think about John and his wife, Emily. John works in a factory. He uses machines every day. At first, John did not know much about how the machines worked. He decided to take some classes in the evening to learn more. Emily supports John and encourages him to keep learning. She also studies at home and helps their children with schoolwork. Both John and Emily believe that education is important for their family. They know that learning new things helps them solve problems and do better in their jobs. Their children see their parents' efforts and want to study hard as well. This family shows us how education brings people together and helps build a strong future. Tom is a farmer who grows fruits and vegetables. When Tom was young, he only knew the traditional ways of farming. Then he heard about new farming methods at a community meeting. Tom was curious and wanted to learn more. He started reading books and going to classes about modern farming techniques. Tom learned how to use less water and grow more food. His crops became better and he earned more money. Tom shared what he learned with other farmers in his area. This helped the whole community improve their farming. Tom's story shows that education can help people grow their skills and help others too. Another story is about Anna. Anna is a nurse. She studied hard to become a nurse. She works in a hospital and helps many people every day. Anna keeps learning new things about health and medicine. This helps her take good care of her patients. Anna believes that education is important for everyone, not just students. It helps people stay healthy and safe. She often teaches her family and friends about healthy habits. Anna's story teaches us that education helps people live better and help others. Let me tell you about David. David is a bus driver. He wanted to improve his English to talk better with passengers. David took English classes at night. At first, it was difficult for him to understand and speak. But David did not give up. He practiced every day by reading simple books and listening to English radio programs. David's English got better little by little. Now he can talk to many people and feel confident. David's story shows that learning a new language takes time and practice. It also shows how education can open new doors. Susan works in a library. She loves books and learning. Susan studied library science at university. She helps people find books and information. Susan also teaches computer skills to adults in her community. She believes that education is for everyone, no matter their age. Susan says that learning does not stop after school. It is a lifelong journey. Her story shows how education can help people work in jobs they enjoy and share knowledge with others. Michael is a young man who started a small business. Michael wanted to learn how to manage money and talk to customers. He took courses about business and marketing. Michael learned how to keep records and plan his work. His business grew, and he was able to hire 2 employees. Michael's story shows that education can help people succeed in their work and support their families. Karen is a teacher. She loves working with children. Karen studies new ways to teach so her students can learn better. She believes every child has the ability to succeed with the right education. Karen works hard to help children who find learning difficult. She also talks to parents to support their children's education at home. Karen's story teaches us the important role of teachers in education and how they help shape the future. Let me share about Robert. Robert works in a factory. He wanted to learn better English to understand his coworkers. Robert took evening classes and practiced speaking with his friends. He also listened to simple English podcasts. Over time, Robert's English improved. He feels more confident and can do his job better. Robert's story shows how education helps people communicate and feel comfortable in new environments. Education is not only about schools and books. It happens every day in many places. It helps us solve problems, understand each other, and grow as people. It helps us find better jobs and make good choices. Education also helps us take care of our families and communities. It gives us tools to face life's challenges. When you listen to stories like these, try to hear new words and ideas. Write down what you learn. Practice writing about your own experiences or people you know. Writing will help you remember new words and improve your English skills. Try to write a little every day. Keep listening, keep writing, and keep learning. Education is the key to a better life. It opens many doors and gives you many choices. Learning is a journey that lasts your whole life. Education helps people in many ways. It is very important not only for work, but also for life. When I think about education, I remember a man named Peter. Peter was born in a small town. He went to school there. Peter liked to learn about science and math. He wanted to be an engineer one day. After finishing high school, Peter got a chance to study at a university in a big city. It was difficult at first because the city was very different from his town. He missed his family and friends. But Peter worked hard. He studied every day and asked questions when he did not understand something. His teachers helped him a lot. Peter learned many things about machines and buildings. After finishing university, Peter found a good job as an engineer. He built bridges and roads that helped many people. Peter's story shows us that education helps people reach their dreams. It also shows that learning new things takes time and effort. Peter did not stop when things were hard. He kept going because he knew education was important. Another example is Mary. Mary lives in a small village. In her village, not many children go to school. Mary's parents wanted her to study. They knew education could change her life. Mary walked a long way to school every day. Sometimes the road was muddy and rainy. Even so, Mary did not miss school. She liked to read books and learn new things. After many years, Mary became a teacher in her village. She wanted to help other children learn too. Mary taught reading, writing, and math. Many children in her village started to go to school because of Mary. Her work made the village better. Mary's story teaches us that education is a gift that we can share with others. It also tells us that education helps communities grow and improve. Let me tell you about John and his wife, Anna. John works in a factory. He operates machines. At first, John only knew the basic work. He wanted to learn more about the machines so he could do his job better. John found a night school near his home. He took classes about machines and safety. Anna supported John. She helped him study and encouraged him to keep learning. Anna also studies at home. She reads books and practices English. They want their children to go to good schools and learn well. John and Anna believe that education is very important for their family. They work hard to make sure their children have good chances in life. Their story shows us how education can bring families together. It also shows how learning